Did you know that St. Luke's University Health Network, based in the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, has been recognized by the U.S. government as the highest performing health system in the United States for quality? You heard right. St. Luke's #1 recognition affirms our status as the top leader among the most respected healthcare providers in the nation, including Houston Methodist and the Mayo Clinic. To state it simply, if you want to receive the best care when you go to a hospital, come to St. Luke's.
Excuse me! Taxi!
Come on, where you going? This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And you guys, right now we have Gregg Jarrett, Fox News legal analyst. And Gregg, obviously huge decisions as we're talking about the Virginia Supreme Court. Judge Weinberg.
Gregg, good to talk to you. Two things. One, they're trying to go to the Supreme Court of the United States to set aside the decision of the Virginia Commonwealth Supreme Court, setting aside a Democrats' gerrymandering scheme. My opinion is they have no chance at all. I'd be amazed if Supreme Court of the United States even takes it up, let alone grants them any relief.
Well, you're right, Judge. The Virginia Attorney General, Jay Jones, must have slept through constitutional law class. He deserves mockery for thinking for one moment that the U.S. Supreme Court would intervene in a case where there's no federal issue. I mean, my goodness, you learn in law school that state Supreme Courts interpret state laws and their own constitutions. So his appeal to SCOTUS is really just a clown show, and you're absolutely right, Judge. It ain't going to work.
Okay, the second issue, which is of some concern to me, is the noise in the system and the politics of Virginia. That what they want to do is now impose term limits at age 54, fundamentally
on the justices.
So get rid of these justices and appoint all the apologist justices for the Democratic Party to do their own districting plan. What's your thought? Can they get away with this under the state law of Virginia?
And Gregg, I want to repeat, because this is wild, because we were looking at the ages of the Supreme Court justices there in Virginia.
The youngest one is 54.
It happens to be 54.
It's a coincidence.
I mean, come on.
It's a coincidence.
Yeah, look, that runs afoul of Virginia's Constitution, where removal is only done by impeachment. And yes, the General Assembly does have the power to set the retirement, but 54 is so absurdly low that it's blatantly political. So purging the entire court because you don't like a decision would violate the separation of powers and judicial independence. And by the way, some of our nation's greatest justices didn't join the U.S. Supreme Court until they were in their 60s. Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. was 61. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, by the way, for Democrats out there, was 60 years old. As a practical matter, there's not enough time to get it done. Install your liberal cronies as replacements, fend off the inevitable legal challenges, then reverse the recent Supreme Court ruling in Virginia and reactivate the gerrymandered map by Election Day for the midterms in November. Utterly impossible. And frankly, after the public backlash of the latest gerrymander ploy, there is almost no appetite among Virginia Democrats to further alienate voters in their state who are already angry over the entire debacle.
Now, Gregg Jarrett, you're a South Carolina guy, and I went to University of South Carolina, so this case everyone's talking about this today. I didn't see this on my bingo card for today. Alex Murdaugh, this is the guy, the redheaded attorney who got convicted of killing his wife and son, and suddenly the South Carolina Supreme Court overturned his conviction. And it turns out that this was wild. That the jury, the clerk there of the court, apparently told the jury, because there's jurors out there saying this, that she said when it was time for him to testify in his own defense, they said, well, you're going to have a day. Look at the body language. Don't trust this guy, essentially. I mean, to me, I'm not a fan of this guy getting another trial, but that's not appropriate.
Right. It violates the Sixth Amendment right to a fair trial. We consider jurors sacrosanct. They're not to be pressured by outside forces. So when we first learned about this rogue clerk who was pressuring these jurors I said on air, there's going to be a retrial. They're going to toss this verdict even though he's dead bang guilty. And that's what they did. Her statements to those jurors were absolutely inappropriate and breathtakingly stupid, which is essentially what the Supreme Court said. And so it was the right decision. I'm sure the judge would agree with me.
I think it was the easiest decision in the world, Greg.
Yeah.
You may not like giving this guy another trial, but he's entitled to it.
Yeah, and that's why it was a unanimous decision. It was obvious and easy to do.
Gregg, Jarrett, John Catsimatidis. I mean, whether it's city judges, state judges, federal judges, how do we straighten out this judicial system? Has this ever happened in the history of the United States before?
Well, I'll tell you, this is the most extreme in my lifetime, particularly the federal bench, where you've got judges now who think they're, mini presidents who can override any and all decisions made by the current president. And they do so because, they loathe him, they despise his policies, and they're issuing nationwide injunctions still, even though the U.S. Supreme Court told them you can't do that. You don't have jurisdiction beyond your district.
Greg, part of the problem is they're having some of these federal judges have had an identity crisis. They can't figure out whether they're judges, whether they're legislators, or they're executive officials.
Who are they? Who are they loyal to? Are they loyal to do their job?
Their job is to decide cases without fear or controversy. That's all.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Cases and controversies, and yet they allow their personal opinions and their political views to dictate the outcome of cases, which is backwards.
And what do we do to judges?
The impeachment of James Boasberg to finally get the attention of these rogue judges? Maybe.
And what do we do to judges that allow killers out in the streets and go out and kill other people?
Yeah, I mean, that's the worst part of it. And, I blame lawmakers in Albany who created this revolving door of justice, which is no justice at all. People with, 70, 80 arrests on their record who are recidivists. They're out the door after their arrest before the police paperwork is even completed. And they're out on the street re-victimizing innocent people. And it's mostly because, liberal lawmakers in Albany believe that criminals are not responsible for their crimes. It's our fault. Society's a bad place, and we're to blame. We made them commit those crimes, and so there should be no accountability. That kind of contorted mindset is sick. And it creates a sick society.
Absolutely.
Greg, keep fighting for America.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you
love
so
you,
much.
Greg.
Thank you, Greg.
We got to take a break, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you, Greg,
Thank
so
you.
much, Greg.
My
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
77 WABC and Bergen Newbridge Medical Center honor the life of legendary broadcaster and our friend, Ernie Anastas.
Hi, it's Ernie Anastas. Your thoughts can affect how you feel. Bergen Newbridge Medical Center is the largest hospital in New Jersey, providing comprehensive, equitable, compassionate, and high-quality emergency inpatient and outpatient medical care, plus mental health services and substance use disorder treatment. The Bergen Newbridge team can address your total health needs in one convenient location. Call 201-225-7130 for an appointment or newbridgehealth.org.